Spirituality doesn't mean that you become totally obtuse and keep getting into problems with others and expecting Swamiji to solve your problems. In my experience as a spiritual leader, I see this is the one thing that quite a substantial segment of people struggle with. They just have no idea how to cultivate relationships and keep on getting into bad moods. While the principle is so simple. Anyad evahu sambhavat, anyad ahura sambhavat, iti sushrumadhiranam, ye nastad vichachakshire. God has sent us into this world not just to become a recluse, but also alongside with our internal growth to do meaningful things. So it says out here that Dhiranam, who are the Dhir? The Dhir are the realized saints who are equipoised. So they are Dhir. The Ramayana says, Ram Sindhu Ghana Sajjana Dhira Chandana Taru Hari Santa Samira. Ram is like the ocean, and the Dhir, saint, is like the cloud. The ocean doesn't quench your thirst. It is the cloud that does. The cloud takes water from the ocean and gives it to you. Likewise, God is there. But it is the saints who explain His personality to us, who reveal His glories to us and help us grow in our devotion to Him. So the second part of the Chupai says that Ram is like the sandalwood tree. But it is the air that brings its fragrance to you. So Chandana Taru Hari Santa Samira. Those Dhir, the realized saints, have said, don't get attached to the world, but learn to use it. 3 monks were sitting. 2 were elevated monks. And the third was a novice, apprentice. He asked the seniors that when you are enlightened, do you get siddhis, mystic abilities? So they said yes. Now one of the senior monks got up and he said, I have left something on the other side of the stream. And he walked across over the water and then walked back. The apprentice said, oh my God, how did he display this mystical act? Then the second master, he said, oh, I also need to get something from the other side. So he got up, he walked on the water, reached the other side, and then came back. Now the apprentice said, my God, these two have done it. Let me also give it a try. So no matter how much focus he would bring his mind to bear, every time he would put his foot on the water, he would just go down. Seeing him getting dunked up and down, one of the senior monks said to the other, should we tell him where the coral reef is? There was a coral reef there. So just because somebody is enlightened, equipoised, elevated, doesn't mean that they reject the world as mithya. You have to learn the ways of using the world. Now that requires a little bit of tact, a little bit of smartness. One lady arrived at the Bank of America branch in Manhattan, New York. She said, "Can I get a $5,000 loan for 15 days?" They said, "Madam, do you have an account here?" She said, "No." "So what will you keep as mortgage?" She said, "My Rolls Royce is standing in the parking lot. Here are the keys. Will that suffice?" They said, "Rolls Royce for a $5,000 loan? All right, ma'am, let's sign the papers." After 15 days, she returned, said, "5,000, how much is the interest?" "Madam, $27.13. She gave it. I said, "Madam, if you have a Rolls Royce, why did you need a loan for $5,000? She said, "In Manhattan, where else will you get 15 days parking for $27.13? So likewise, if you wish to do meaningful things in this world, if you wish to become a recluse, that's a different thing. If you wish to do something meaningful in the service of God, you have to learn how to handle the world. And the most messy thing is relationships. That is where everybody gets into trouble. Somebody is having trouble with relationships in the office. Somebody is having trouble with relationships in their friend circle. Somebody has joined a seva group, and there also they are saying, "I'm having trouble." Now the thing is, that person keeps complaining about office politics, who doesn't know to handle it himself. So what we need is to use our head to handle office politics. So you need to learn, why do relationships get strained? One of the reasons is we expect others to be perfect. And when we find somebody is not perfect, we get extremely annoyed. That person should have been behaving like this. That person should not have been behaving like this. Now they are what they are. We are creating standards for their behavior and holding them for that behavior. When they are not meeting our standards, we are saying how terrible they are. An intelligent person says, people are as they are. Let me learn to live and let live. A bear, wolf, and a fox once went hunting. Now listen to this carefully. They managed to grab a deer and killed the deer. The bear asked his companions, the wolf and the fox, "How do you suggest we divide the deer?" The wolf said, "Let's do 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And the bear, he killed the wolf. Now there was just the bear and the fox left. So the bear asked the fox, "You give me the suggestion. How should we divide the deer?" The fox said, "The bear should get 100%. The bear said, "You are so intelligent. Where did you learn this?" He said, "I learned it from the wolf." What it means is that you cannot change people. He knows how the bear is, and he has learned how to handle the bear. So we, people with less EQ, less SQ, they do imperative thinking. This person should be like this, that person should be like that. The next, we expect that the others should desire as we desire. If I desire to see this channel on TV, then my spouse should also desire to see the same channel on TV. And when the desires don't meet, we think we are justified in being angry. Why does she not think like this? Why does he think like that? So these expectations, expectation for perfection, expectation of matching of desires, we expect others should do as we think they should do. Now everybody has got a mind of their own and goals of their own. So it is not necessary they will do exactly what you want them to do. Just give them the freedom. You cannot control anyone. Let them be. Beyond that is the expectation of reciprocation. I did this for that person, and that person did not reciprocate. Swamiji, I did so much for my relatives. I got them all the way from India to USA. I sponsored their visa and their green card. But my relatives, they were so bewafa. They never asked me in my time of need. This expectation of reciprocation. So what is at the root of all expectations? The root of it all is our selfish nature. In all our relationships, we are always thinking about I, me, and myself. And when my self-interest is not fulfilled, the other guy is a bad guy. I have a right to be in a bad mood. But a person who has wisdom decides, look, everybody is imperfect in this world of Maya. Everybody is selfish. Somebody more, somebody less. I need to work my way around intelligently. I need to handle these relationships to be effective in this world. So spirituality doesn't mean that you become totally obtuse and keep getting into problems with others and expecting Swamiji to solve your problems. Some sevaks are like that. They get into problems because of lack of EQ, SQ, and then they will blame everybody. Everybody is responsible for my unhappiness. So remember, take responsibility for your happiness. Never expect others to watch out for your happiness. Further, never be judgmental. Don't judge others. It is their journey. It is their own sanskars of so many lives. The Bible says, judge not, lest you be judged. A bird, it needed to choose a branch of a tree to make a nest. So it came to this huge tree. And as it was about to start placing the twigs, the tree spoke up and said, I'm not going to allow you to make a nest. The bird said, you are such a big tree, you miser, you conjuice. The tree said, whatever be the case, if you make it, I'll kick it out. So the bird went to the neighboring tree and placed its nest there and even laid the eggs. Now, while the eggs were being incubated, one night, a huge storm came and the big tree collapsed. In the morning, the bird got up, saw the tree there. It said, this is God's justice. You denied me the right to make a nest on you. Serves you right. The big fallen tree said, I knew I was going to fall. I had grown so old, I had rotted from the roots. I knew I would not withstand the storm. And for your sake, I said, don't make a nest here, make it there. Now, if I had told you at that time, you would not have believed, so I didn't give the reasons. The bird realized it did not know the whole picture. It was just jumping to judgments. So often, we jump to such judgments. Oh, this person is like that. And if we came to know their story, the real story, we'd say, wow, in this situation, this person is doing so good. So don't judge. Don't expect others to be responsible for your happiness. Learn to cultivate relationships. In my experience as a spiritual leader, I see this is the one thing that quite a substantial segment of people struggle with. They just have no idea how to cultivate relationships and keep on getting into bad moods. While the principle is so simple. First of all, understand nobody is mine. Have zero expectations. There will be no frustrations. When you have expectations, that is when the frustration begins. It's a premeditated resentment, the expectation. The saints have no expectations. They say, Mayadhin Jeev hai. The soul can go haywire anytime. So they have no frustrations. So, with this sense of detachment, the relationships that are important for your work, learn to cultivate them. See that relationship as a bank account. In a bank account, you make deposits and you have withdrawals. Now, if you are not depositing and you just keep on withdrawing, you'll go into overdraw mode. Likewise, in a relationship, deposits are the favors you do for the other. It could be a small thing, you're just crossing and you give a smile. Or just willing to forego your wish for the other's wish. These are the deposits. A little words of praise and encouragement, a little help in their work. But then there have to be withdrawals as well. Sometimes, like a teacher or parent has to force the child to do something against the child's wish. Now, if there are not enough deposits, the child will rebel. That is why you have to keep on depositing. Particularly in husband-wife relationships, it's been discovered that any relationship where the deposits to withdrawal rate is less than 2.8, then that relationship gets strained. And for a relationship to be successful, the deposits must outweigh the withdrawals 5:1. Because humans are humans, you have to keep on praising them. You have to keep on encouraging them. Who will not respond to deposits? The problem is people forget to make them. And then when everything goes into the overdraw mode, then they start blaming. So the last mantra and this mantra are very important. If you wish to be an effective person in the world, learn to use the world properly. And at the same time, keep your love for God.